Okay, well, welcome. Are you dealing with intense pain on the front of the arm or even deep into the shoulder blade or shoulder joint itself? Well, we're going to share with you a muscle that could possibly cause that kind of pain. And we're going to talk about self-care for this muscle and, when it might be a time for you to go see your physical therapist or your doctor. So why do we do these Facebook Lives? Well, we do these Facebook Lives because we want people to understand that a lot of the muscle aches and pains and stiffness that they're dealing with, that they tend to go with pain medication or even surgery, can be caused by overly tight and angry muscles. And tight muscles can cause significant pain. The good thing is that is something that you can take care of. You can reduce the tightness, the stiffness, and the hyper-irritated points in the muscle before they become more serious problems. So my name is Brian Hagan. Me and my wife, Christina, created the Ultimate Foam Rolling Blueprint. We teach purposeful foam rolling and self-care skills so that you can be active and pain-free. All right, so this is going to be for educational purposes. We are just giving you 15 years of experience as neuromuscular massage therapists. Okay, so the muscle we're going to be talking about today is called infraspinatus. And this muscle can cause a lot of the same type of pain as you would get with a rotator cuff tear or something called Thoracic Outlet Syndrome. And it's interesting, when clients come in over the years, their concern is always a shoulder injury, and that's totally understandable. And then when we rule that out, our thought is possibly Thoracic Outlet Syndrome. We won't go into too much detail there, but that has the same sort of pain pattern. And what's interesting, a lot of times it's just something as simple as an overly tight muscle. And in this case, it's infraspinatus can mimic the exact same pain that a rotator cuff or a thoracic outlet. So that's why we're talking about infraspinatus today. So we're going to talk about the symptoms, the pain patterns, self-care, and all that good stuff. So obviously, if you are doing self-care and somebody has been working on this muscle and it's just not getting any better or it's getting worse, that is a really good time for you to go see your physical therapist or doctor. Something else is going on in there and you need to have it looked at. But let's focus on this muscle because this muscle can create the same exact pain. So infraspinatus, where is it located at? Well, it's located on the lower portion of your back of your shoulder blade, between where the bone ends on the inside of your body, toward all the way going across that shoulder blade, goes across the shoulder joint right here, and then attaches into the bone on the outer edge of the upper arm. This is infraspinatus right here. How do you find this on yourself? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're tight, it's going to be a bit difficult, okay? But let's just go ahead and demonstrate it. You're going to take your arm, you're going to put it behind your back and reach it up there until you can rest it on the bottom part of the opposite shoulder blade. This is basically where your fingers are, is where this muscle resides, okay? And so if you can't do that, that's okay. It just means this muscle is tight. Now, to find the end of it, you bring your arms back to the front, reach over here to the back of your upper arm, feel around right in there. That's where this muscle attaches at, right in here, okay? Now, what does this muscle do? Well, this muscle actually takes your arm and rotates it outward, just like that, okay? Or this way, okay? We call that lateral rotation, basically taking your arm and rotating out. That's what this muscle does. It's a primary job. It is also one of 4 muscles called the rotator cuff muscles. And that's important because those 4 muscles together stabilize this whole joint right here. It stabilizes that joint, so that's a very important job. So again, lateral rotation, stabilization of the joint. Okay, now what happens when this muscle gets angry? Okay, well, typically the pain is in the front of the arm, right in the front of the deltoid, and deep into the joint itself. It feels like it's right in that joint. And it's very intense pain, and you can still have that pain when you are sleeping or when you're resting. Okay, that's very common. Now, some of the things that this muscle being tight will prevent you from doing is reaching back behind your back to touch the infraspinatus with the back of your hand, reaching for something in the back of your pocket, hitching the hooks on your bra, scratching your back, brushing the back of your hair. Any of those kind of movements can really be difficult when this muscle is tight. Throwing something, playing tennis, walking a dog, especially if that dog is a big dog and it's going all over the place, that can really get this thing angry. So what happens when a muscle gets angry? Well, it tends to develop these things called trigger points. And these are hyper-irritated points in the muscle. And these trigger points can fire pain off to a whole lot of different areas. So this muscle has 4 trigger points, and you can see them right here on the muscle. This lower trigger point sends pain between the shoulder blade itself and your spine. So you'll feel pain right, and sometimes it's actually tucked up underneath the bone. People will just feel radiating pain right here. These other 3 trigger points, they have a much broader direction of pain patterns that they can fire off. One of the odd ones is right up here in the back of your neck. Again, it's on the same side as the muscle is, but right up here in the neck. The other areas that this can send pain to is the back of the upper arm, the sort of the outside back part of the back of the arm, the outside edge of the shoulder or the elbow. Let's see if I can bring Mr. Manny up here. The back of the forearm, and by the thumb side back part of your hand. Pain doesn't tend to get down into the fingers, but definitely down into the back of your upper or of the hand. Okay. You can also have pain. Let's see if we can get Mr. Manny out of the way here, or move him a little bit. On the front of the deltoid, the front of the bicep, the forearm. Let's see if we can see this here. There we go. The front of the forearm, and even into the palm of the hand, but again, not quite getting into the fingers. Might just touch into the fingers a bit, but not quite all the way to the tips of the finger. Okay, and that's very important because that's a distinguishing point. But again, that's a whole lot of pain created by just one muscle with 4 trigger points. Okay, what causes this muscle to get tight? Well, in our society, it's just that rounded shoulder. It's on the computer. It's driving the car. It's everything that we do here, reading books, texting, looking at tablets, all that stuff aggravates this muscle. So again, it's postural related. And then activities like moving your arm back behind the car seat, throwing something, any of those really quick movements. Again, that dog making your arms go back and forth like that can really get this thing fired up, and then we start having that kind of pain. Okay, so again, those are the typical people that get tight. Pretty much everybody. That's a very common muscle for us to get tight in. So what do we do when this muscle gets tight? Well, good self-care is stop the activity that's making it angry. Don't walk the dog. Don't throw anything. Don't reach behind something. Anything that aggravates it, just avoid doing that for a while. Hot, moist towels, laying that on top of that will help tremendously to reduce that and get that muscle to relax. Taking a foam ball and putting it against the wall and putting your shoulder and just working that bone right on that foam ball against the wall will help tremendously. And then a good stretch for this muscle. So a good stretch is if you're at your desk and you're just, you feel like you need to get tight and get it loosened, is to put your hands behind your back as you're sitting, and then just lean forward and then drop your shoulders down just like that, and you'll feel this nice stretch. Okay. So again, stretching should be gentle. You want to exhale when you do it, and when you get to that position, you just hold that position for the count of 8, and then bring it back up again. Another one you can do is take your arms out like this, grab the back of your upper arm, and just pull it across your body just like that. Again, gently, should not be painful. Hold for a count of 8, exhaling, relaxing, then bring it back. Do that 4 or 5 times. Those are really good stretches. As with any stretch, if you're stretching a muscle and that makes it angry and gets it aggravated, there's something else going on in there. It could possibly even be a tear. You want to have that looked at by your physical therapist or your doctor. Okay? All right, well, I hope this is helpful. If you would like to get notified at our next Facebook Live, if you would like to get more Healthy Steps tips, special offers on the Ultimate Foam Rolling Blueprint, our free online courses, make sure that you add your email to the link, and we'll make sure that happens. Okay? All right. Have a great day, and take care.